It is a rainy Friday morning here in the Big Apple in Brooklyn, New York, but that's okay because in just a few short hours I'll be boarding a plane to Vancouver, British Columbia, where it'll probably still be raining, except it won't be 85 fucking degrees out. And guess what? The Hotwire, it starts right now. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Like I said, guys, the hot wire, that shit starts right now. I couldn't be happier to be back on the air with you guys. Again, like I said, it is like a typhoon here in New York, so you'll just have to listen to the raindrops during my show, and that's not my fucking problem, it's yours. We are about 2 days away from a very big, very special Climax Control. We are kicking off our Canadian tour in the Agro Dome in Vancouver. Two huge title matches, kicking off a World Heavyweight Championship mini tournament, kicking off a World Bombshell Tag Team Number One Challenger tournament as well. It's gonna be a big weekend. But before we get into any of that shit, let's drop right to the fucking mail bag. First question, and we thank you, is from John Monks from West Hollywood, California, Boys Town. Haha. Do you think Evie Bang is overhyped? I mean, what if she can't deliver this week? I can't answer that question. She seems like a blue chip. I know SCW Brass is very high on her, but you never know until we know, right? So we'll certainly find out this week, and we'll get into that a little bit later. Millie Minton from Salt Lake City. Why did SCW pick to tour Canada? Good fucking question. When we haven't toured New York, we haven't toured southeastern United States, Florida. Again, I got my own special opinion about that. Josie Sanderson from Perth, Western Australia. Excuse me. Do you think we will ever see Odette Stevens back inside the six-sided ring? With Evie and Melody around, surely the itch to come back and tag team with one of them would be happening? Ending with a question mark. I have no fucking clue what is surely happening in Odette Stevens' mind. I think her career ended a little prematurely. Obviously, she got pregnant. And she never really lived up to her potential. I would not mind seeing her back. But who knows? She's playing mommy. Gavin Green from El Paso, Texas. Where does Despy and J2H go from here? It's very simple. J2H is still the World Heavyweight Champion. He is a very good champion. Longest reigning World Heavyweight Champion we've had in Sin City Wrestling. And to me, he was a class above Despy. He will continue to go on as champion. As far as Despy, I think he'll settle back into the upper mid card, where he probably belongs. Maybe get another crack at that internet title. I would love to see him versus Rage. A little Sins squabble would be kind of fun to watch. Let's see here. Sherry Fuller from Irvine, California. When would be a good time to expect a turnaround for Amy Jane and Christina Bentley? There wouldn't be one. Sorry. Over. Ashley McMillan, New York, New York. With the SCW Awards coming soon, who are your early candidates for Superstar and Bombshell of the Year? Superstar, obviously J2H. If he doesn't win that, that's a fucking crime. And Bombshell, The first one that pops in my mind is Sam Marlowe. She beat Micah. She's now a two-time World Bombshell champion. Crystal Miller obviously has had a decent run, but not enough people talk about um, Kate Steele, right? I mean, she has had a fantastic run with that Bombshell Roulette Championship, longest reigning Bombshell Roulette champion we've ever had now. Um, so I think that she gets overlooked. I wouldn't be surprised. She'd be my dark horse pick there. Luis Santos from Scottsdale, Arizona. I've been listening to your show since the first and enjoy your insights. Last Hotwire, you answered a listener's question about a need for fresh matches in SCW. Zelda Clark brought up an interesting topic in her recent blog about people having to earn title matches. But what about those who are always in the title picture? Several superstars and bombshells are granted matches sometimes for no reason, i.e. Mercedes Vargas' title match with Sam Marlowe. On the other hand, there are those who ask for title matches, like Kira Fisher-Johnson, and get them. Isn't it time for the fans to get a break from seeing the same people always getting title matches? And what's the worst case scenario? Being handed title shots for no reason, asking for one, or both? Long question. I'll answer it in two parts. I said this on the last show. We need freshness. We need to inject some freshness because we are seeing some of those matchups over and over and over again, and they're getting boring. Even though there's good wrestling, we've now seen it over and over and over and over. And quite frankly, I'm getting bored. That's not a good thing when you're trying to attract viewers and bump ratings. As far as what's worth handed title shots for no reason or asking for one, it's big. Title booking has been a little meh the past few months. I think we're all in agreement there. Certainly, again, I've been very vocal. Mercedes Vargas, although I'm a big fan, didn't deserve that match against Sam Marlowe. I don't think Kane deserved to be in that internet title match at Summer Extreme either. So, listen, it's a fine line because then you say Kane, well, Kane's a former world champion. He's a Hall of Famer, a Grand Slam champion. Why doesn't he deserve that match? So you can make that argument. But again, put him in a match against someone and let him earn the shot. That's how I feel. All right? Even if it's against someone that is completely beatable, let him pick up a W, get some momentum going into that title match, and that's how I feel about it. Elizabeth Ford, St. Margaret's, Maryland. Were you surprised, disappointed, or relieved that Bad Company didn't last long as a stable? And how do you think Caleb Houston, Johnny Tsunami, and Evie Bang will do in their careers going forward? Caleb and Johnny both, if they don't get their shit together, they'll be fucking losers forever. And Evie Bang is a wild card. She's a blue chip. She's got a great look to her. She's got the right attitude, but we've never seen her in the ring. That will change this week. And hopefully we'll have an answer to that question. Barry Hayes from Dayton, Ohio. Who do you think wins their first singles title first? Travis Nathaniel Andrews or Veronica Taylor? I'm not going to answer this question now because it kind of goes with our predictions for this week. So you'll just have to keep listening and find out. Next question. Let's see here. Hold on one second. Got to pull it up. I'm going a little digital this week, so it's taking me a minute. I apologize. Eric, my boy Eric in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Now that Uncle Pinky has now been viciously assaulted twice and literally pissed on by Shipman, do you think that James Siskini will try to better protect Pinky, or should Shipman watch out for retaliation? I'm going to answer this question based on a question I was just asked. I hope there's no retaliation from Shipman or to Shipman from Tiskini, because this is a tired matchup. I'd like to see freshness injected into the roulette division, and we're going to have a little bit of that this weekend. As far as should Siskini better protect him, absolutely. That's your uncle, that's your man at ringside. You need to pay closer attention. Andy in Atlanta, my boy. I'm excited to see the World Heavyweight #1 Challenger match between Dimitri Marcus Reeves and Casey Williams. Who do you think will walk away one step close to a shot at the World Heavyweight Champion. Again, I'm going to do predictions in a little bit, so I'm not going to answer this now. But Andy, as always, thank you for your question. From KS in Burton-on-Trent, England. Have you seen any of Kaylee's pornographic movies? If so, how do you rank them? I've seen none of them. I apologize. Not my thing. I'm more of a Naughty America and Brazzers kind of guy. Heyo, how you doing? 2, do you think anyone will end the reigns of Tuskegee and Steele? I do, and we'll get to that in a little bit. I swear to God, I'm not trying to get you fired, but fuck, marry, kill Mark Ward, Christian Underwood, Eric Staggs. Listen, as I've mentioned before, and many of you that know me know, I'm a huge supporter of the LGBTQ community. God bless them and all the rights that they deserve. But I don't like cock, so I wouldn't marry or fuck any of them. So in this situation, I'm breaking out my 9 and fucking them all up. Peace. We all saw the return of Alexis Edwards to SCW TV at Summer Extreme 4, and it didn't go well as she was attacked by Evie Bang, who she was at least friendly towards. My question is, do you think Alexis is ready to come back as soon as she was only supposedly in rehab for not even 3 months? Meg from Chicago. I don't know her situation. I know she's got some substance abuse problems. And I would imagine if she wasn't ready to be back, that Mark Ward, Christian, or Eric would not let her back. KCC, Nashua, New Hampshire. What feuds as a celebrated journalist and fan would you like to see in SCW? Again, I'm not going to name specific feuds, but I would like to see freshness in the title scenes and freshness in the matchups. I don't want to see the same old guys going at it over and over and over and over, right? I just don't. I'm good on that. Tyson Brooks, Olympia, Washington. Final question of the evening. I'm a massive fan of Amy Marshall and have been following her career since forever. My question is, what do you see her doing next in terms of getting back to the top? Maybe winning a match or two? I mean, listen, just like Tyson Brooks, I'm a big Amy Marshall fan, but this return so far has not been kind to her. She has not fared very well. I'd like to see her get a win or two under her belt. And like I said kind of about Casey last week, she should maybe kind of hold that guard for some of the newer bombshells. And you know what? To say to an Evie Bang, like, you want to get somewhere in this division, you got to go through me. Be that gatekeeper, so to speak. That would be a good role for her. That's all the questions we got this week, guys. Thanks for sending them in. As always, I appreciate it. This week was an interesting poll question. So I asked out of X amount of people who debuted recently or will be debuting, who would have the biggest, most immediate impact, right? And the results to me were a little bit interesting. I put Polly Playtime, Scott Sanders, and Lust for Life, which is a new tag team in the Bombshell division. All got about the same response. Playtime and Sanders at 10%, Lust for Life at 11%. Evie Bang, 69%. So, my question is she going to make the most immediate impact? As far as the rest, I don't know. Could she be the biggest star out of all 4 of them? Maybe. I think Scott Sanders also has a good look and a lot of talent. Again, we haven't seen Evie wrestle. So I think a lot of the answers to this question, they were probably answering, if you could fuck one of these people, who would it be? And obviously Evie Bang would get the vote. And again, I'm not saying she won't have the biggest impact. Just, again, we haven't seen her wrestle, so how can we say that she does? And Lust for Life is going to be in this number 1 contender tournament for the World Bombshell Championship. They picked up 2 victories. They're challenging for the World Bombshell Tag Team Championship. So I don't know how to answer this question. I probably would have went, because of that, I would have went for Lust for Life. But you know what? The SCW universe has spoken, and they all want to fuck Evie Bang. Don't tell Melly Knox, but I also want to fuck Evie Bang. How you doing? This show coming up is an interesting one, guys. Um, Again, a pretty big show. It's kicking off our Canadian tour in Vancouver. I did alluded to it a minute ago. The opening match is a Bombshell Tag Team Championship match. It is a mini tournament like the bosses did last cycle for the men. 4-team tournament. The winners will face whoever the champions are, presumably in the Angel Clan at this upcoming Supercard pay-per-view. The female elders, Song and Alana Lord, will take on the Justice League, Zuri Chastain and Belinda Warwick. I'm going to go ahead and pick Zuri and Belinda in this matchup. I like Zuri. I think she's a great talent. And I think that she might just find her niche here in the Bombshell Tag Team division. Singles match, we do have the debut of Ms. Polly Playtime taking on the resident nutcase Twisted Sister. Interesting matchup again. I'm going to go ahead and pick Polly Playtime here. A little bit of momentum from her debut will carry her to victory and should be a fun one to watch. We also talked about it a little while ago. There is a kind of a mini tournament almost. It is World Heavyweight Championship #1 Challenger Tournament. There will be 2 triple threat matches. They haven't announced the entrance to the second match. But this week we'll host Dimitri versus Marcus Reeves versus Casey Williams. Again, Marcus Reeves might be a little overmatched in this match. He's not quite the caliber of competitor that we might have thought he was. Casey Williams, is always the dark horse anytime he's in that match. But Dimitri has looked really good. He did lose to J2H in a non-title match a few weeks ago, but he looked very good. If he got another shot, he might actually be able to beat Jay. I do, however, think he will beat Casey Williams and Marcus Reeves and go on to face the winner of the next triple threat match. Singles match, Josh Woodward making his debut against Johnny Tsunami. Johnny, to me, has been fucking lazy, so I'm going to go ahead and pick up Woodrum as well to carry that debut momentum to a victory. Singles match, third and final debut of the night, and that is Evie Bang, of course, versus Amy Jane. Again, Evie's a wild card to me. I haven't seen her do a single wrestling move. She's super sexy. She's great on the microphone. And obviously, she's tough. She took out Alexis Edwards. But Amy Jane, too, has shown that she's been a tough competitor, but certainly not a winning competitor. So because of that, I will take Evie Bang. Again, the SCW universe believes that she is going to have the biggest immediate impact out of all of the new signings. So how can she have that impact if she loses her debut? I will pick Evie Bang here. First of 2 title matches, the Bombshell Roulette Championship. Siren Kate Steele, the longest reigning Bombshell Roulette champion ever, will defend against none other than Veronica Taylor. Side note about this match, there are 2 Roulette Championship matches this week. This one should have been the main event. That's all I'm going to say. Should have been the main event. Veronica, with Miles Blake now in her corner, has had a ton of momentum. She just picked up a pay-per-view win, her first one in a while. She's won a couple matches. She's looking good. I would think that Kate Steele will win this match. But with Miles Blake in the corner, you never, ever know. So because of that, there's a wild card here. Veronica could end up being your roulette champion. But conventional wisdom, being the celebrated journalist and analyst that I am, I have to side with the isometrics, right? The sabermetrics. And I'm going to go with Kate Steele here to retain. Singles match. Despair gets right back in the ring, and he's a tough guy, and I commend him. He's going to be taking on the other half of the failed Bad Company, Caleb Houston. And I think Despair is just a whole different class of competitor. He may be 3 or 4 classes higher of a competitor than Caleb Houston, and I think he will win this match, barely breaking a sweat, as he looks to get his feet back on the ground and maybe get his sights on something going forward. In the main event, we talked about it, was the Superstar Roulette Championship. James Siskini versus Travis Nathaniel Andrews. I'm going to say that Siskini retains here. TNA has been hit or miss since his return. He had a lot of momentum before he went out. And I just don't think he's got what it takes to beat Tiskini right now. Doesn't mean he can't ever beat him. But Tiskini's on a great run. I think he's going to hold on to that belt at least until the next pay-per-view. So, again, my pick here would be Tiskini. That's the whole show, guys. You know, not a bad one. It's going to be a lot of fun. You know, now's the time I would normally do some rumors if I have one. I have a couple that I wanted to talk about really quick. And they both have to do with retirement. The first one is there is a rumor floating around that Casey Williams is looking to hang up the tights permanently at the end of the year. You know, he's getting a little older, but he's a great competitor. We would certainly lose something if he did that. But again, he's thinking about it. Also, rumor has it that Rage could be hanging up his boots sometime soon for undisclosed personal reasons. It could be his recent engagement to fellow Seven Deadly Sins member Kitty, or something else entirely. You know, I've been hard on Rage, but he's turning out to be a very good internet champion. I think he's finally found his footing in this place. And it would be a loss. It would be a big loss for SCW if Rage were to leave. Don't ever repeat that I said that, though. Okay. At this point, guys, I would normally do stock up and stock down. Being as that there was no show last week, I would just be being a fucking dick if I did stock down. So we're going to pass on it this week. Don't forget Climax Control from Vancouver, the Agro Dome, this Sunday. 2 title matches, 2 championship tournament kickoff matches. And, of course, make sure you listen to the Hotwire next week, Friday. And if you don't enjoy the show, I'm sure there's nothing I can do to impress you more. Because if you're not impressed by me, you're a fucking idiot. But, just in case, if you didn't enjoy this, from me and all the staff at the Hotwire, on this rainy Brooklyn morning, please go fuck yourself.